Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode here, Banish the Doubt. So, in this episode, what I want to talk about is how to force nothing and yet get everything that you want. Now, it sounds paradoxical, but this is exactly how society has programmed us to believe that in order to get anything, you have to strive, we have to grind, we have to hustle, right? No pain, no gain is what a lot of people growing up heard. A lot of our programming that stemmed from our caregivers and their caregivers and going on back is, oh, you have to work hard. So I know myself personally growing up, I watched my brothers and I watched our father. Our mom worked a job, took care of the house. Our dad worked a job, and then he came home and he went out and he had a landscaping. It was a business, but it really wasn't a business. But he would come home and his hands would be dirty and there'd be maybe blood on his knuckles, whatever. And he wore these cuts and dirt and all that almost as a badge. You see, the ego says, "Oh, if I struggle, then you'll like me. Then I'll be accepted by others." The ego is always looking outward. The false self is always looking to see, well, what do others think of me? I am what I have. I am what I do. I am what I wear. Others think of me, the people I'm with, who I know. This is all the ego. This is all the false self. But you and I don't need to do or to force anything. We can do whatever we want, and we can do take a lot of action. But there's a difference between taking action and taking inspired action. Action that comes from our heart, action that comes from that knowing that this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is who I want to. So my passion with making these videos, I'm so passionate about sending this message out because if even just one, I'm not doing these based off of, oh, if I have 1,000 people send me likes or share this video with others. That's all great, and I like it, but I'm not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because this is what I feel. I have this burning desire inside to say, yes, this is what the message needs to be, to get out to the masses, to understand and to stop this craziness of constantly trying to force and push and coerce others into a certain way of thinking. We see it playing out all the time. One political party, they aligned with the media, and when this particular person running for office um, announced the running mate, the media, certain media outlets, suddenly used the words happy warrior. I think, yeah, happy warrior. And you watch someone put a collage together of cut all the different media outlets saying different people, um, the hosts on shows, guests on shows, all using the same phrase: "Happy warrior, happy warrior, happy warrior." Literally getting their audience into a trance-like state. This is what I'm talking about, programming. We call it TV programming for a reason because it's meant to program us. But think of an actor or an actress, for instance. When it comes time for them to portray a character, majority of the time they will transform themselves into that character. So if an actor, let's say, is playing the role of um, let's just a historical figure. Okay, let's Abraham Lincoln, for instance. That actor will change himself into believing he is in, and he will mimic Abraham Lincoln's moves, the way he carried himself, obviously his hair, his statue, everything, to become Abraham Lincoln for the movie. This is where we need to do the same thing. So whatever you desire to do or to have or to be in your life, you want to get to that point. You want to imagine yourself as that person. You see, because my friends, life is nothing more than a series of now moments. Time is an illusion. There is no such thing as tomorrow or yesterday, an hour ago or an hour into the future. There was only ever now. So an hour from now, if man-made thing called time, it will be now. It will be now at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever. You and I, though, we become addicted, literally have become addicted because our caregivers who raised us were addicted to worrying about time. What's going to happen if? I'm obsessed about what did happen. You see what I'm saying? So we took on this behavior. We downloaded this behavior. Like the actor becoming the character that they portray, we we took on the characteristics, right, of our caregivers. And we aligned with either one or the other, mom or dad. In my case, in my family's case, my brother is the brother, middle brother, took on more of the characteristics of our father and became an alcoholic. The funny thing is about people who are addicted, right? You can tell them they're addicted to whatever substance, and no, 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 I'm okay, I can handle, I can handle it, and there's the denial. I became more like our mom, much more of a worrier, much more of a, and I had more of the, and I had some characteristics of our father, who was very analytical, who worried about things and tried to manipulate things. And I remember him having a notepad out, and he would just be from top to bottom, all different types of solutions and additions and subtractions and whatever it may have been. So I witnessed that behavior, and then I embodied that behavior, worrying about what's going to happen, this and that. We end up becoming addicted to trying to predict the future, right? And controlling what's taking place now. So we become addicted to prediction and control. What that does on a biological level, from my case, in my father's case, he ended up dying from, he got older, but he had a stroke. He had another health issue before I was born, right before I was born. He had cholesterol problems. So the body was really keeping score. Our mom, she ended up passing away from cancer. And myself, I ended up getting cancer. You see the similarities? But cancer is not genetic. It's not because my mom had it, I got it. No, it's because it's the lifestyle, it's the environment that we put ourselves in. And we do it 95% of the time unconsciously, because 95% of who you and I are, by the time we either were, or if you're watching this, when you become 35 years of age, is a memorized, unconsciously, but still memorized. Our body memorizes emotional reactions, behaviors, actions, and habitual habits. Habits, emotional reactions, and behaviors. So it's what we do. So something happens, we either cannot let it go. How many times has something happened in your life where somebody said something you didn't like, okay, and it affected you, your ego, that false sense, that false self, and you hung on to it, and you went out and told all your friends, family members, whatever. It's because the false self, who you believe yourself to be, got affected and the feelings got hurt. So, this is how we then become addicted to a set of feelings in our life. We become addicted to either, and some of us become addicted to being the martyr, oh, the poor put upon person. So these are the behaviors, because if you find a person like that, oftentimes you look back in their family, you'll find a person who's just like that. So, how do we change this then? We change it by becoming aware that nothing in this life is anything more than just a now moment. And we don't force anything, we don't control anything. I would like for you to just close your eyes for a second and think of yourself as water, your life as water. Now, in your mind's eye, try to reach out and hold in both of your hands, grab water. Can't do it, right? So, this is the illustration I would like for you to take with you for the rest of your life. Anytime you find yourself trying to control something, trying to predict something, trying to manipulate something, I'd like for you to close your eyes and just say to yourself, water. I am like water. Okay? Because water will always find the place it's going to go. It will see an obstacle and go around it, right? If it can go through it, it'll go through it. Oftentimes, it'll just go around, right? Go around the obstacle. It doesn't fight with the obstacle. It doesn't try to control the obstacle. It doesn't even see it as an obstacle. It just goes, okay, thanks. I'll just go right around this. So try to live your life as much as you can like water. You do this, and you're going to find the blood pressure in your universe, your world, which is your body, start to lower. Stress levels, which there is no such thing as stress in this world, but stress levels in your world, your universe, you, lower. Anxiety, lower. Worry, lower. Fear, lower. You see, because, my friends, this world of ours, external to you and me, external, the system in this world is all about control. And how do you control a populace? You make them feel fearful, a victim. This is how you don't fight it, you rise above it. You rise above it by being like water, by saying, this, I am not attaching myself or identifying myself with anything external to me. So I want to read you a passage from the book, The Power of Awareness, because really all this is, overcoming addictions, is all about becoming aware, broadening our awareness. So I want to read this to you here. It's about subjective control. Subjective control is mine is mine. This is who I am. And he says here, Neville, your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to your attention. So to remember, anything external taking place in our life that we feel like it's getting our attention, the old us, our ego, that false us, that false image, okay, all progress, all fulfillment of desire depend upon the control and concentration of your attention. Attention may be either attracted from without or directed from within. Attention is attracted from without when you are consciously occupied with external impressions of the immediate present. Your attention is directed from within when you deliberately choose what you will be preoccupied with mentally. So he goes on to say, But your control in the subjective state is almost non-existent, for in this state, attention is usually the servant and not the master. There is an enormous difference between attention directed objectively and attention directed subjectively, and the capacity to change your future depends on the latter. So, this is how we circumvent. We don't change, we don't overcome addiction to controlling and addiction to trying to predict. We recognize it, we go like water, we go around it. We say, okay, I see it. I see the old me. I see how I used to be. Somebody had to control, somebody who had to predict. And we lower the temperature and we say to ourselves, okay, in this moment, everything is fine. And I'm no longer going to try, I no longer need to control anything. My universe, my world always works out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Whatever it is you want to be. Now, let's say, for instance, one of your desires is to change your financial situation. You want to see any obstacle, see any bank account, a bill perhaps in the mail that arrives today, maybe has past due on it or something, or final notice. And instead of trying to control it, you look and say, that bill is paid. I'm so happy and grateful now that that bill is paid. Now, to the immediate present, you're going to say, well, who's paying it? Right? We don't have any money in the bank. But I want you to think of and act as if money is in the account. It's paid. That bill is taken care of. Because in reality, it is. The fact that there was no money in the bank, the fact that the bill became past due and final notice, is the old thinking that led to that destination. Your new changing thinking patterns, this will pass. This bill is paid in due time. My bank account is overflowing with money. Money comes to me from known and unknown sources. As you do this, and here's the key though, as you start to feel this, you must feel it as a reality. You must be like the actor taking on the role. You want to take on the role of a wealthy person, of a person who money is no object. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. My bank account is overflowing with money. A Neville Goddard affirmation that I've used in the past and I continue to use is, I have a lavish, steady, dependable income consistent with integrity and mutual benefit. You say these affirmations. You don't walk around saying it. You just close your eyes. Again, I'm like water. Water will find its destination. It will go around an obstacle. You want to get to the point where you're embodying it. I am that person. I sit up. I speak that way. I think that way. The clothes I wear, and it doesn't have to be, high-end Brooks Brothers or whatever other clothes are out there type of clothing. But you look and you say, my shirt that I'm putting on is whatever that brand is. The car I drive is whatever that car is that you drive. Okay. That just the new you is that person. I want to turn to here for a second. So the two gifts bestowed upon humanity. This is from the book, The Kybalion: mind and speech. So what we've just been talking about, our mind, how we think, we're in the now. Our mind is concentrated on in this now moment. Life is nothing but a series of now moments. And our speech, because what we say is obviously directly tied to how we think. And how we think, how we speak, controls how we feel. because how we think and how we speak controls our body. It controls the chemical makeup in our body. It controls how this mechanism of our body operates. The cells in our body, blood flow in our body, right? So the universe is, this is again from the Kabbalion, the universe is mental, held in the mind of the all, God, spirit, universal force, the field, whatever, however you want to think of it. And I would like you to think of it this way. Every time I have a thought and every time I speak, I am telling, let's say, this little genie or little servant that you have, this invisible servant, this invisible genie, and they're saying, okay, I'm going to go get you whatever that is that you just spoke into this universe, into this field. I'm going to go get it and bring it to you. And oftentimes, it's control or it's prediction or whatever. You want to control something. You want to try to predict something. I said, okay, fine. I'm going to go get you some more of that control, more issues, more things for you to need to control. This is what I'm talking about. The book, A Course in Miracles, says this. If you knew who walked beside you, so like this little invisible genie servant, at all times, now in the book is talking about Jesus, if you knew who walked beside you at all times on this path that you have chosen, right, through the thinking, through our speech, you can never fear or doubt again. Because you are attracting subjective control. You are attracting into your life at every moment of the day anyway. You've just been attracting things in your life because of the caregivers, of how you were raised, okay, the people we associated with, we sort of align with more. We're just bringing their information. We're just continuing, you want to say continuing our legacy or whatever, continuing that. That's what we're bringing. So there's no reason to fear or doubt because you're bringing it here. We want to change that now to, I'm going to be the actor or actress and I'm going to embody this character that is perfect health, that is a perfect weight, that is in a perfect, beautiful, harmonious relationship, that is a millionaire, multi-millionaire, that has a business that is worldwide, whatever it may be. We want to start to act, think, and to speak into existence that character, that person. We want to also embody the mindset of being like water. We are going to be like water. Everything in our path, there are no obstacles. There are only solutions. And we're going to go down and go around whatever the perceived obstacle is. Because oftentimes, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, that obstacle, we put it there. And I will tell you, here's a humongous secret for you to take with you as well. Your biggest tormentor in your life is your greatest teacher. Understand that, embrace that, love that. If you do these things, your attainment of whatever it is you desire in your life is all but certain. So guaranteed. Because remember, everything is just a now moment. So if it's happening now, it's got to happen. Because it'll be now. And there is an image, there is a slide out there, like tuning a radio station, the frequency. If you're of my age or older, you remember the old AM, FM radio stations. You had to tune, right, the channel. You had to tune the needle to the proper what? Frequency, right? So the frequency from the universe. You hear all the static. The static in this illustration are all the reasons why you feel things aren't working out for you. Once you start hearing the connection, you start to come clearer. That's this video. When the connection is made, is those moments when you feel like, yes, I can feel this. This is happening, whatever it may be. That's when the needle is finding the frequency. That's when you know I'm on the right wavelength, just like the old AM, FM radio stations. So remember, everything is a now moment. I'm going to act like water in how I'm going to approach my life. There is no control. There is no forcing. There is no manipulating. There is no predicting anything. And I'm going to understand that the static, as I'm trying to fine tune my world, are all the old mindsets that I had. And when I feel, yes, when those moments happen, that's when I've made that connection. The universe is saying, yes, we've got a connection. Maybe fleeting, but as soon as you hear that, and that's going to be something like if finances is your issue and you happen to be walking out, out somewhere in a parking lot, what have you, and you see a quarter on the ground and you go pick it up, that's that connection. Okay. You go on the scale, wow, you lost a couple of pounds. That's that connection. You go for your blood pressure check and whoo, wow, it's way down. That's that connection. This is how you know. This is how we go through our life, one day at a time, one moment at a time. This is how we do it. Thank you, guys.